The Ghosn scandal is a major headache for all the companies of which he was leading and the brands he managed. Jose Hernandez is with me, crisis management expert, guru, written books on the subject. Your fundamental point is that scandals will happen and misdeeds will take place, but they don't need to wreck your business.
They don't, but unfortunately with superstar managers, we tend to let our guard down. And when we let our guard down, governance and compliance and control failures result. And that is at the core of what we're trying to, that's why the scandal is such a shock, such an issue, and so difficult to understand and also...
Well, I think we can agree, he was a superstar CEO. I mean, nobody else, as far as I know, has ever run 3 motor companies at the same time and merged them and done all sorts of things. So what went wrong?
What went wrong is we still don't know, and that's actually the fundamental problem. He's lost today his chairmanship of Mitsubishi, he's lost the chairmanship of Nissan, and we still don't have the full facts. 44 million apparently has gone missing. There's financial disclosure problems. So we have the problem that the individual is being accused of misconduct, but we're not sure, and that we have legal problems.
But you will know as well as I do that he will claim it was authorized, the money was for houses that he had to have, you know, that these were legitimate business expenses that the company had always agreed. What do you do in that situation as a company?
Well, then the full problem is disclosure. How did we disclose what these benefits were and how they were gotten? But it may be that he's entirely right, that they were approved, they were audited, they were reviewed, it's in the contract, but perhaps not disclosed.
But you're saying in the case of superstars, we tend to get lax in all the treatment of their expenses and the...
Yeah, we love them for what they do. We love how they create markets. We love how they turn Nissan around. We love that they were running 500,000 employees. So, but then what happens is sometimes we turn a blind eye. Sometimes they break rules, and then, you know, there's a lot of willful blindness that then comes with it.
What other cases can you think of that make this same point? I mean, arguably, we could say Martin Sorrell at WPP. Yeah. We could say Winkelhorn at VW, and the whole scandal over there. Which ones come to your mind?
Yeah, perhaps FIFA, but it's not a public company. But you know what? Sepp Blatter would be another one. But there was the issue was disclosure. But here we have the problem that he's been arrested first, and there's no investigation, so there's no real facts. So we're on uncharted territory right now.
You were talking to me earlier about Daimler. And the issues with Daimler. I mean, corporate crises, reputational crises, because of CEOs. What does the company do in those situations?
You got to restore trust and credibility. Trust within the troops, the 500,000 employees, credibility in the markets, making sure that you actually lend extra assurances that this cannot happen again. So we have to move in this whole movement of trust, implement more controls, but we got to start with the facts, and we are far from knowing all the facts.
Right, but this idea that something's always going to happen, let's forget about this case. But talk to me about the sort of environment where you've got a superstar executive,
yes,
who is omnipotent in terms of how they're running themselves or their department. What do you as a chief exec, or if you're the chief exec, what does the chairman or the board, what do you do?
Keep an extra eye on them, which is look at your expenses. Nothing shows somebody's moral integrity in how they handle assets by looking at their expense report. How do they do the things that they do? Just having an extra close watch, extra care, but what happens is exactly the opposite. We love them for bending rules. We love them for, you know, turning things into new markets. And unfortunately, this is the unintended consequences when it goes too far.
You want to look at my expenses?
Yeah, I will. Well, we will find a cup of coffee like you just had it, and I noticed that you paid for it yourself this morning. And it starts with little things like that. Who pays for your bills? And after a while, people forget you're just entrusted with this position of authority.
I read a very good article this morning that said, you know, the problem is that the line between my pocket and the company's becomes ever so blurred.
It becomes blurred, and then before you know it, it says it's all mine, and you lose touch with reality.
Okay. Good to see you, sir.
A pleasure, sir.
That's a very sobering reference.